Hey, what's up? It's Comic 95, that's Savior. So for this video, I want to actually talk about something kind of different, and I want to tackle a stereotype. So if you haven't been living under a rock, you've probably heard at one point or another that Asians can't drive. And I want to say that I always thought that was interesting, even in America, when dealing with the few Asian friends that I did have. But if you know anything about how I've talked in the past, I kind of don't like the idea of lumping the term together. Like, I know in America, because obviously Asians are a minority, just like black people, they all get grouped together. But I think that's problematic within itself because Asia has lots of different countries. And if you actually were to go outside of America, people that are Asian, specifically those from East Asia, most certainly do not call themselves Asian, and they don't like to group themselves together. For example, I've never heard a Japanese person call themselves Asian, and they would not like to know that in America that when we say Asian, we mean everybody. Like, whenever I talk to my friends, they're like, what do they think of Japanese people? It's like, they don't separate, you guys. Chinese, Japanese, Korean. If people like Asians, they normally like all of them, with the exception of those that are not considered as Asian, even although they are, such as people from the Middle East, South Asia, like India, the Philippines, and etc. So we're not going to get into that. I'm going to keep this on topic of what the title says, but yeah, I find it very interesting that people say that Asians are bad drivers, and while I can't speak for China and Korea, etc., I can't speak for Japanese drivers. So I want to say that I find that to be completely untrue. It was a total culture shock being here in Japan, and in a good way. Japanese drivers are extremely friendly, extremely patient, and extremely nice. They always give pedestrians the right of way. In fact, so much so that people here, like, it's rare to see someone trying to run when, like, a car lets them go. Like, I always do, because that's me as an American. I feel like it's rude to take your time walking when someone's clearly being nice to wait on you, but that's standard practice here. Cars will not normally try to rush and turn in front of you. If you are even in the crosswalk, even if they can make it, they will wait for you to go. Like, they literally follow their driver's ed rules down to a T. These are all rules that we have in America too, but obviously nobody follows them, and a police officer is not going to give you a ticket because you made a turn and there was a pedestrian in the crosswalk. In Japan, even if you're 15, 20 feet back, they will wait for you to cross even if you're taking your slow time walking. I literally have to tell cars, like, oh, like, come on, let's go. Like, you know, go ahead. It'll take me more time to cross in front of you than for you, and I know that you're trying to make that light. So I actually find it a huge relief, especially since I have this really weird anxiety, you guys, that I can't explain. It's super embarrassing to talk about, but I have, like, weird anxiety, like, when it comes, it's social anxiety, but on a weird level. I can't explain it. I don't like crossing streets, and I don't like lights either, especially if there's no light. It's even worse. I will wait to see the light change before I cross. I never cross just because the light is still green, because I don't want to get stuck out in the middle of the road while the light is red and then have to run, and it's too many things that cross my mind. I don't like doing that. In Japan, it's totally okay to do because cars will wait on you. They won't be angry at you for going at the last minute. They won't be mad because you should have waited and you cut them off and you knew that they were trying to turn. They don't care. Like, pedestrians, you're God, you're king. They let you go first all the time. People don't even honk their horns, even at other cars. They let people merge over. They let people cut them off. They, even if you went and you didn't have the right of way, they will not blow at you. It's very rare. I can count the amount of times I've heard somebody honk their horn, and I've probably only had someone blow a horn at me maybe twice the whole time that I've been here. I can count the times that I've almost been hit by a car too. And of course, it's like with any country, Japanese people are still human, you guys. So of course there are bad drivers, and actually, a few days ago when I was supposed to have recorded this video, I actually had a guy that was, road raging, and literally almost, like, this is the closest I've ever come to getting hit by a car. He was speeding straight down the street, and he was about to quickly turn, which he did turn, and if I didn't stop, mind you, I had in headphones and listening to music, I would have smacked right into his car, or he would have smacked into me with his car while speeding and making a turn. And this guy was in a van, and he gave no fucks. This is during rush hour. Japanese people are grown, and we can make up excuses like, oh, they're stressed out. Yeah, he's stressed out and almost committed murder too. So anyway, long story short, yes, there are bad drivers. Yes, there are crazy people. I had a guy that got mad at me because it wasn't a busy street and it was a tourist area. I took a picture with my camera, which I've uploaded on Instagram, in the middle of the street to get a picture, of the whole scene and these women wearing kimonos. Well, this guy wasn't having it. He was really angry. He got, mad, and he blew his horn at me and was pissed off. So, like, it's such a rare thing for it to happen that it kind of shocks you. It's like, somebody honked their horn at me. And so I hate Americans when it comes to this too. Like they have road rage, they get mad easily, they're impatient, they speed a lot. And don't get me wrong, people do speed in Japan, but they don't act crazy if you're not speeding with them. They understand that you're driving the speed limit. People aren't going to be flipping birds at you and honking for you to go faster and acting crazy because you made them miss the light. They don't do all of that nonsense. Do people run red lights all the time? Do people speed all the time? Do they get angry at pedestrians? No, they do not. Do they honk at other cars? No, they do not. Do they let other cars merge? Yes, they do. Do they let other cars cut them off because they want to go faster? Yes, they do. Do they get angry? No, they do not. So again, there's exceptions to every rule, but for the most part, 9 times out of 10, Japanese people follow the rules. They're very nice to other drivers, and they're extremely nice to pedestrians. They truly give you the right of way, and they don't act funky over, fighting over parking spots and all type of craziness that I'm used to dealing with in America that has made me really nervous and not like to drive a lot. Yeah, I think it's really interesting that nobody really talks much about that. So I believe in giving credit where it's due, and that's one thing that I really do like about living in Japan. I think it makes it really easy to even walk. A lot of places here don't have sidewalks, so you have to walk like on the side of the road. And I've had times I was walking, had music in my ears, and didn't even realize there was a car behind me. The car will literally slowly drive behind you. They won't honk at you because they don't want to scare you. And they'll wait until there's enough space for them to go around you. They will not speed and try to cut you off. They will not, try to ride on your tail or whatever. They don't do any of that type of stuff. They're not aggressive drivers like how Americans and other Europeans are. They're very calm and collective, and they're very relaxed. They, of course they can get frustrated. Yes, they do speed. Speeding does happen a lot here, don't get me wrong. But again, they're more understanding to those that choose not to. For example, in America, people lose their shit if you're on the expressway. And even although they're going 90 miles per hour, they want you to be going 93 miles if you're going to cut them off, or shall I say going 100. They get angry really easily. In Japan, it's not the case. If you choose not to speed, they'll probably either go around you and, not make a big deal about it, or they'll slow down themselves and be like, I am speeding. So, of course, there's other issues that deal with drivers, etc. But let's talk about something positive for once, you guys. Let me have this moment. Yes, there are negative things too. But again, for the most part, I really feel like that stereotype is not true. I think instead of saying that Asians are bad drivers, we should say that they're cautious drivers and they follow the rules. No, this cannot be said about every country and everybody, but I can at least speak for Japan, and I most certainly would not consider them to be bad drivers. I think they are very cautious, and I think they follow the rules like how you're supposed to. A lot of people do not follow the rules as far as, giving pedestrians the right of way or allowing people to merge. People make mistakes, people make accidents, you might forget your turn, you might be in a new area, etc. I feel like in America, people always assume that you purposefully waited until the last minute to merge, or whatever the case is. And they don't care if you're a new driver, they don't care if you're old. I've seen people lose their stuff, while I was on dates, while I was with my family, etc. because, the way that they drive, they follow the rules, etc. So that is that. I feel like that is something that is really misunderstood, and that was a really big and positive culture shock for me. I really feel safe and comfortable walking down the street, and even when it comes to driving, whether it be I myself or me in the car with someone else. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you would please like, comment, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Other than that, you can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, and I have a Facebook page as well. And I hope you will watch another video. Bye!